What's up everybody? Piano Joe here, and today is super exciting. Guess what? The felts finally came in. So that means the keys are going back in today. So what we're going to be working on right now is leveling out the keys with these felts, okay? So as I said in the previous video, I got some felts from the piano guy. Turned out they kind of smelled. I don't know why, but since I'm super allergic, I couldn't use them because I'm allergic to mold. So I said I'm just gonna buy my own online. So I finally got them. Took a while for them to come in. Um, but I'm really excited about it. So let me turn this thing around so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's all the key bed, as you guys already know. You already saw this. But here's the new stuff. This all just came in. So right now I've just been organizing the balance rail felts, which is the middle. This thing. This is the balance rail. This is the front rail, okay? So today we're going to be working on the balance rail felts. So that's going to be leveling out the keys. This is totally different. This is going to be done at a different time. But today we're going to be working on the balance rail. So I've been getting out all the balance rail felts and punchings. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be leveling it out. So I'm going to try to kind of explain how I'm going to be doing that. So let me just go get a key really quick so you guys can kind of understand what I'm going to be talking about. So right here we have a D, okay? I'm just going to put this in. So we're going to be having all the keys, I'm going to be putting them in. Then we're going to be using these weights. They're actually like super heavy. And what these are going to be doing is this is going to simulate the action. And the action is everything that's going to be on top of the keys. So the hammer's everything, okay? So you're just going to be putting that on. See how they have this clip? That just goes right over the hammer. And that's going to be pushing these things up, as you can see. So it's going to have them all pushed up. After I get them all pushed up like that, then I'm going to be looking for the highest white key. The black keys we're going to do last, but right now we're going to be looking at the white keys. And when I find the one that is the highest up, I'm going to be measuring it with this. We're going to see how tall it is off the board. Then, you guys are like, this is just taking forever, just do it already. But I gotta explain it so you kind of get what I'm doing. Then when I get the measurements, then I'm gonna be stacking the bottom key up to that same height, middle E, and then the top key to that same height. I'm gonna be using that as my guide when I'm leveling this out. So then when those things are all leveled out, I'll just get a ruler, put it over those two, and then see the distance that I need to make with these felts to get them all the same height. And a trick when you're doing this is when you need to like figure out how many of these punchings you need to make it level, you just slide them under here, and then when it's going to be under this ruler like this, and then you get two of those punchings. If two fit underneath, you're only going to be putting one of the two on this rail here, and then that will get it balanced. So hopefully you guys will kind of get what I'm trying to explain here when I'm actually doing it. So without further ado, let's start this piano restoration again. Okay, let's do it, guys. Alright guys, so right now we're going to be starting off by putting on all the balance rail felts. And that's just going to be on every single key. So let's start that. Alright everyone, so as I said before, the next step is going to be putting on those weights. So since we don't have enough weights for the whole keyboard, including the black keys, we're going to only do the white keys since we're going to be starting out with those first anyway. So let's start putting those things on. Alright, so right now I'm going to be stepping back a little bit and I'm going to be looking at this whole keyboard. And now what I'm going to be looking for is which key is the highest. So one key, can be a little low here or a little higher there, but I'm looking for the one that's going to be the highest. And that is what we're going to be basing our key height off of. So right when I get that, I'm going to be measuring it, taping it off, taping it off on the ruler so that I always have the piece of tape for the guide. And I'm going to be, as I said before, going on these 3 keys. And that's going to be my guide for the whole keyboard. And hopefully this will run smoothly. So first off, let's look for this highest key. Alright everyone, so I found the highest key. So it looks like it's going to be this bottom G right here. So I taped it off. So now I'm going to be removing these keys and I'm going to be raising them up to this height by putting felts on the front rail, okay? So you probably understand it better when you see me actually doing it, so let's do it. Now an important thing to remember is you're going to be wanting to use these cardboard punchings because as you can see, these felt punchings are squishy and you're going to be wanting to have a reliable guide. So you don't want this key dipping down at all when you're putting the ruler on top. So we're going to be using this because the cardboard is not going to give any way. So let's start putting these in. Seems my measurement was a bit off, but hey, mistakes happen. So let me just remeasure this key. The ruler moved slightly into it. You're supposed to be resting on the key bed part because this ruler kept going below that because there's a little gap there. So I think that's how I got the wrong reading. So let's try this again. Alright guys, so we finally got one done. Next up I'm going to be working on these, and then we're going to see if we can actually do this thing correctly. Yeah, alright guys. Yeah, let's continue this thing. Alright guys, looks like it's time to actually start putting these felts in. Or the punchings, sorry, punchings. Alright, let's start it. I'm going to be moving this camera this way so you can kind of see me kind of laying the ruler out, and then you're going to see the technique that I'm going to be using to measure the key heights and stuff. So let's do it. Alright everyone, so now you got a better view of this piano, and we're going to be putting the ruler across. So as I said before, we have our guides. So the guides here, let's see, we got a bottom E, got the middle E, and then we have the top E. Since this is a 73 key piano, we're all ending in E's. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this across like this, right? It's going to be resting now on these two guides. And now everything in between, as you can see, there's some that are the same height and others that are a little bit lower. So we're going to be getting our felts. Let's see if this, sorry, let me put it this way. This will make it easier, I think. Come on, man. There you go. Okay, so we're going to be getting our punchings here. And we're going to be seeing which ones fit. So, as you can see, we can fit two of these cardboard ones underneath. And what that means is that only one of these out of those two is going to be going back here. Because, you know, there's a little bit of height difference between this and this. So, for every two of these, you're only going to be putting one in the back to raise it to the height. And then we're going to measure it again and see, now is it the same height? And if it is, then we go on to the next key. So this is going to be a little bit of a strenuous process, but the end product should be a well-regulated action. So let's see if we can do this, because this is my first time ever trying anything like this before. I'm no piano professional in the sense that I restore them for a living. I'm just doing this for fun, honestly, because I really like this piano, and now that I have one, I'm like, let's restore this thing and get it working great again. So let's see if we can do this. You're going to be seeing it fast forward. I'm not. So let's get it started, guys. Let's do this. Gonna listen to some scary stories now because I love those things. So let's do that. All right. Alright, so right now, as you can see, all these felts are kind of just sitting here on the keys. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking off all the extras, and I'm only going to be putting one of each on here. So this one I had to actually use the blue on the cardboard. And a bunch of these I just had to use different cardboard shapes. That's just somehow how it is. It's not all going to be the same amount of punchings for each one. And that's why they come with so many different sizes. Because these keys, after a while, you know, they kind of warp and stuff. So this is pretty normal. So hopefully this fixes it. After I put them all in, I'm going to put the bar across it again and see if they're all level. And if not, then we still have all these paper punchings that we can still go to, like the super thin, green, and then the white is the thinnest. So this is just going to be for making it perfectly level. So let's see if this actually works. Alright, so I think I leveled them out. So let's do another test and see if they're all pretty leveled. And if they are, then we're going to move on to the second half of the keyboard. So cross your fingers, everybody. I'm crossing mine. Guys, I am super happy. It actually turned out really good. They are like all level. I am super happy. This wasn't too bad. Um, Next up, second half of the keyboard. So I'm probably going to be moving this camera a little bit to your right, and then you can see me do the rest of it. And then after we're done with all the white keys, I'm probably going to take a break and then move on to the black keys. And then we're going to be done with the balance rails. Yay! I'm super happy, guys, if you can tell. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so I finished that first section. A few of them, as you probably saw, kind of fell in. I don't know why it didn't happen with the other side. Maybe I shook or something. So I'm not sure if I put a few in the wrong spot, but we're going to find out soon enough with this ruler. So. Alright everyone, it's all done. All the white keys are nice and level. Well, as level as I can make them. But I have to say, for like the first time, I think I did a pretty good job. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking out these keys that I blocked up, the 3 E's, and then I'm going to be putting felts in the balance rail as well, because if you remember, these keys were just the guides, so I never actually leveled them out yet. So right now I'm going to be leveling those out as well, try to get them all the same, and then after that I'm going to be taking out all the keys, and then I have to flip over all the punchings so that the felt is on top of the punchings, because right now the cardboard and the paper is all on top of the felt. So, I mean, it's a lot of work, but I mean, it's definitely more level than when I bought it, because I bought it, it was really good still, but not as level as it is now. So, it's worth the work, guys. Definitely worth the work. And if I can do it, I'm sure you can too, because I really haven't had any idea what I was doing, but it turned out pretty good. So, without further ado, let's finish this thing. Alright guys, well now I'm going to be taking out all of these keys, and then I'm going to be flipping the felts. So the felts are going to be on the top instead of the punchings being on the top, because the felts have to be touching the keys. So I'm not even going to film that, because you guys kind of get the whole idea of what I'm going to be doing, just taking out the keys and then putting that in. So for right now, I'm done. So I'll see you guys on the next part when I'm going to be working on these black keys. So see you guys in a few seconds, I guess. Alright, so right now we're going to be leveling out all of the black keys. So how we're going to be doing that is the same as the white keys. So we're going to be applying the pressure so that these black keys will raise up. Got some hair there. We're going to be applying pressure. But the thing is, we don't actually have enough weights for all of the keys. So we're going to be doing each key individually and by hand. So how that's going to work is we're going to be pressing like this. And we're not going to be actually using a ruler like the white keys. The white keys are actually going to be our guide this time. So what we're going to do is, let me just remove this so I can give you an example. So this white part is called the cap. So this is just on top of the piano key. This is what you're going to be seeing. And now this, the end right here, is going to actually have to line up with this part right here, the end of this black note. So you're going to want those two level, and that will create a perfectly regulated action. Well, not really, but a perfect key height all across the piano, which helps the action. So how we're going to be doing that is we're going to be pushing these down. So, for example, I'm going to push this one down, right? And now I'm going to look and see how many felts it takes to be the same level as a white key. And then when we get that correct, I'm going to be putting them in, and then I'm going to look again and see if it was correct. So let's get started. Alright everyone, they are actually perfect. Each one of these only took 2 of the thinner cardboard punchings, which is kind of unusual. Usually you need a different thicknesses, so maybe like a paper here, a thicker piece of cardboard there, but no, they all took exactly the same number of punchings, exactly the same thickness. So that made it much easier. So next up, I'm going to be removing all these weights, but before I do that, I'm going to be going throughout all the black keys, and then again, as I said before, flipping those punchings over so the punchings are on the bottom and the felt is going to be resting against the key. So let's get to it. Alright everyone, well that was actually really satisfying because I finally got this all done. And now when you press them up, they are all perfect height. So next up we're going to be working on key depth. So that's going to be putting in the felts on the front rail, which is this part right here. So this is going to be controlling how far down this is going to be, because you don't want them going all the way down, because that makes it harder to play. So without further ado, let's go see if I can figure out how to do that now. So, alright everyone, so right now we're going to be working on the key dip, and what that is when all of these keys are pressed up because the action is on top, when they're all up like that, that's going to be regulating how low this is going to be pushed down. So what that means is I'm going to have to take up all these keys again, put in the front rail felts, and then I'm going to be starting to regulate the black keys first, and then we'll move on to the white keys after that. So right now I'm just going to be removing all of these, putting down the felts, putting it all back, and then we're going to start the process. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that after I finish with this. I'm going to be showing you how to regulate the dip on the black keys. So what you're going to need is, first you're going to need to regulate the height throughout the whole keyboard, which you already saw before. But after that's all done, you're going to want one of these. Just a little coin. So this right here is a nickel. So you're just going to get your 5-cent coin, and what you're going to be doing is you are going to put it like this. Okay? It's going to be right in front of the black key. And then you're going to push this key up, and you're going to be wanting it to be the same height as that coin. So that's how low you're going to want it to go, is the same height as that coin. So how you're going to do that? Well, we're going to figure that out together. It's going to be a lot of guesswork, honestly. Probably because you have to take out the 2 keys to fit in the punching in the first place. So we're going to try out with some thicker cardboard first, and then we're going to put the coin back on it and see if that works. And hopefully it will be the same throughout the whole keyboard, and we won't need to do it like individual little pieces of paper here, thick cardboard there. Hopefully it's going to be easy peasy. So without further ado, so you guys are probably wondering, like, what's going on? Like, why am I just putting a bunch of felts and it doesn't look like I know what I'm doing? Well, the thing was, I tried it out on one of the keys and it seemed to work, So now I've just decided to save like time. I'm just going to do it all the same way. So what I found to work is the thickest cardboard, 2 of the thickest cardboard plus 1 of these thicker pieces of paper. And so far on all of these black keys, it has worked perfect with the height because I'm testing it out with the nickel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 7 that are all exactly the same and all work perfect with this key height test. So I'm probably just going to end up doing it the whole board like that. So let's finish it. Alright everyone, so now I'm all done with regulating the black keys. So as you can see, they're not going to go down anymore. They're all done. So when it's up, you press it down, it's only going to go there and it won't go down anymore. So that's all done, and now next up is regulating the key dip of the white keys. Now this is going to even take longer. But before I can do that, now I have to go through the whole keyboard and flip over the felts. So the felts are on top and the cardboard's on the bottom. So, gotta take these keys out again, yay! Oh man. Alright everyone, so this is the next day actually. Thing was, camera ran out of space, so last night I was transferring all the files over to the computer. But today we're gonna start working on the key dip for the white keys. So unlike the black keys, we're not going to be using a nickel for our guide. We're actually going to be using what we call a key dip block. Now the measurement is 3/8, as you can see. And if you look closely, you're going to be able to see that this side is a little bit taller than this side. It gets a little bit shorter as it goes. And this is going to be the guide, and I'm going to show you how to use this. So you're just going to get any key you want, and you're going to push it down. And you're going to be putting this block and try to line it up at the same height as the key next to it. Right when you get that, you can let go and you can see that's how low you're going to want the key to go. So we're going to be putting in felts, so when we push this down, it will just stay right there and be level with the key next to it. And that's going to be our goal for all of these. I believe we have 43 white keys since this is a 73 key piano. So we're going to be doing that. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright everyone, so I pretty much got these as good as they're going to get. Kind of ran out of the thickest punching, so I was having to, as you probably could see, use like different combinations to kind of get to the right height. They're pretty much all dipping down to roughly this height, so that's as good as you're going to get it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking out all these weights, and I'm going to flip over all the felt, so the felt again is going to be on the top and the punching's on the bottom. And then after that I'm going to start reassembling the piano by putting back in the action, the hammers, the sustain, everything's going to be put back in. So yeah, without further ado, let's start doing that. Alright everyone, so I flipped up all the felts, so the felts are now resting against the keys and all the punchings are all the way on the bottom. So now everything is good. Everything has been set. And now it's time to put back in the action. So without further ado, let's get it started. Here we go. Gets in there.
Was that the table? Or the...
Is it locked there? Okay, let's see how this thing sounds. See, here it is, guys. It's not tuned though, so it's not gonna sound great. Yo, there we go! The action is so much better than when I first bought it. The action's actually like, guys, this is great. I did a great job with this. Man, this is gonna sound great once it's tuned, guys. So there you go. This is part 5 and it's finally finished. So like and subscribe if you want to see some more. Part 6 we're going to be working on probably leveling out these hammers a little bit better and then possibly tuning this and getting some new strings. So like and subscribe because I really need it and I need to make money. Alright guys, see you later. Alright everyone, so now we're going to try it. Hooked up. So try this out. I'm using a piece of junk amplifier right now because I don't have anything better. So I'm going to get a nice amp for this piano though. But for now I'm just using the Squier amp. Okay. On. There we go guys, check that out. Let's put up all the bass and everything. tremolo probably is not going to work because this amp doesn't support it. I'm thinking that's actually what might have been wrong with the tremolo, is that there's actually nothing wrong, but I'm just not using the right amp for it, because tremolo kind of turns it into a stereo output. So I'm going to need like a different amp for that for sure, but... Alright guys, so there you have it. It works beautifully guys, so super excited about this. Can't wait to get this thing finished. So thanks for joining me and staying with me this far, and hopefully we'll get this thing running even better than it is right now. But as of right now, action is just perfect. Perfect action. It's responsive, it's easy to press down, just like I like about Yamahas. Because when I bought this thing, action was like shot. It was just not good. But as I said before, I did a lot of cleaning, re-leveled all the keys, the key dip, everything, as you guys already saw. And we got a great result right here. Just absolutely love this thing. Cannot wait to start playing this thing. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. So thanks again for staying with me so far, and join me in part 6 as we try to finish this thing. Maybe there's going to be a part 7, who knows, but it's been a lot of fun so far, guys, so see you later.